Oh man, where do we start? It was a surreal feeling to be, in a lineup with them. When 2 years ago you were an amateur, but overall the show, like just from a New Jersey native and watching the show year after year, to be on the other side and being the guy that's actually on stage, and you see in the crowd when you're posing and you see people looking at you, and the first thing that goes to your head is, that was me and now I'm on the other side. Overall, it was a great experience, very positive. I'm happy with the placing, I'm happy with how things turned out, and I'm happy with the package that we brought to the stage. I had struggled with the fact that this was the first show that I was going to do that I wasn't going to win. Throughout my amateur career, I've won overalls throughout my entire career. I've never really lost a show. So this was the first show that I've ever prepped for that you weren't the front runner anymore. You're a guy that had to prove yourself. It was a 20-week prep. So we kind of started this pretty much late December, early January. So by week 5, week 6, it started to take its toll. And you probably see from some of those training footage, the leg day at Apollon, it started to take its toll a little bit. You kind of know that this is what you have to do. No one's forcing you to do it. You get in every day, you do what you need to do, and then you get out. There was never a moment where I didn't say I was going to step on New York stage. And that's the crazy part about bodybuilding, the mentality. It's like, even if I make it there and I gotta go to the hospital tomorrow, I'm stepping on that stage tonight. So there was never that moment. However, this physical suffering I'm going through every day, this deprivation that I'm putting myself through, is it really worth it? Is the outcome of all of this, is it worth it? That was a bigger question for me, mentally speaking, than the latter, to be quite honest.
So, was it worth it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was totally worth it. Totally worth it. You start this journey and no one really understands what you're doing. Everyone's like, you want to go up on stage or nothing? What's wrong with you? You start this thing, this vision, and it's just you, and no one believes in it. Initially, it was just me and my girlfriend, Morgan, that started this whole journey. And this family has grown and grown, and then people that are in your corner, not necessarily people that came on when you were bodybuilding, your actual circle starts to actually have that mental shift as well. I wanted to debut in New York for part of that specific reason. Marvin, Mark, Chris, the guys, there's a reason why you guys haven't seen me. There's a reason why we haven't sat outside on the lawn and had beers and talked about nothing. Mom, Jennifer, there's a reason why I haven't been home. There are reasons why I've sacrificed so much, and this is the reason here. I need you guys to see this. I need you guys to see the level of what I'm dealing with, the impact, the gravity of what I'm dealing with here, and my position in this whirlpool of cataclysmic destruction and that's going on. I needed them to understand that like this isn't a game. I work and I work out as a bodybuilder, but that working out part that you guys think, it's not a hobby anymore. I'm a professional, and I needed people in my corner to understand and see that. And then for what it's worth, with Anyanwu also being there, supporting me as a brand, for my family, my friends, and others to see the industry side of things. People coming up to me, people that don't even know who I am, shaking my hand, telling me that I inspire them. They needed to see the other side, that bodybuilding, when we're in this strength culture, we are a niche set of people. It seems like everyone does what we do, but we're still kind of underground as a community. And when you put people that are not in our community in those places, it gives a very different perspective of what's really going on. So it was eye-opening for them, but also it showcased to them that this is huge. This is a big deal. For me, it was an amalgamation of everything. My circle of friends, my family, animal, my team, my relationships, my coach. It was an amalgamation of putting everything together and saying, hey, moving forward, this is what it is. There's other things outside of the show that I'm trying to prove here, not just to myself, but to my family, my friends. There's that internal conflict you go through as a bodybuilder a lot of times. I'm living a dual life, and it's in this circle of that dual life that I'm trying to fit everything together. My life is so multifaceted, and I prefer to keep it that way because it gives you a deeper meaning to what we do. Everyone just puts you in this bubble. For example, a lot of my core group of friends, like I've mentioned before, don't even lift. They're my friends from college that were there. I haven't really made a lot of new friends along the way because as this thing continued to progress, it has gotten harder and harder to actually meet people that are not just in this space. So that's been very difficult for me. I gotta be honest with you, it's been very difficult. And the lifestyle itself is very solitary in nature. So that adds a lot of limitations as well to the social aspect. So as an identity, it's kind of sad to say, but I've kind of accepted it. Like, I am more than just the body, but if you see me for just this, then I'm okay with it as well. Winning changes, right? It changes depending on the situation, the scenario. For this particular scenario, winning meant coming out, making a statement, showing that I belong with top pros. I belong as an Olympia level caliber bodybuilder. And we did that, so that was a win in that regard. Winning also means the package that you bring. We brought a combination of fullness and condition that I think was the perfect balance for where I'm currently at in my career. I think if we pushed condition a little bit too much, I may have been smaller than I would have liked to be competitively against those guys. And if we pushed too full, I may have fallen out of condition where it's like maybe he's not ready for this level yet. So I think it was the perfect balance. Winning also means winning, right? I do want to qualify to go to the Olympia. Now, if you do qualify for the Olympia, at that point, winning is making sure that you come out there and make another statement. So it depends on the level and the scenario that you're playing with. For the New York Pro, it was a clear win. We came in there, we made an impact. It was my pro debut. And the point of a pro debut was to show the bodybuilding and the fitness community that this is the next guy coming. From the way it looked when that call out happened, it was kind of like, this guy looks good. We need to see him right next to them. Like right now, we're not waiting. He belongs with him. Bring him out right now. Let's see. There were 2 tiers of bodybuilders at that show that they were judging, and I was amongst the first tier. So I think that was pretty awesome. I know that at this point, my ceiling is the very top of the sport, and I just have to keep working to get there. There's 3 pillars of bodybuilding. You have muscularity, condition, symmetry. I'm a perfect blend of all 3. So I want someone to go in there and say, wow, this dude, there's no space on his physique. He's muscular, but he's also flows very well. It's a beautiful physique to look at. And he's in condition as well. So I want someone that hasn't seen bodybuilding before to say, that physique looks nice next to Ken's physique, but that guy looks under-muscled, or man, that guy's really big next to Ken, but he's just not put together right. So the perfect blend of all 3, I think that's bodybuilding as a whole of what it represents. I think the closer you can get to those 3 pillars, that is, in my opinion, that's what the vision of bodybuilding is. People that hadn't seen me before, when they see the online photos, they're like, oh man, this guy can do classic. You see the comments, people are like, this guy can do classic. They don't realize the guy's 250 pounds. You're looking at it on your phone. So then you see it in person and you're like, holy cow, this is like 3x of what I saw on my phone. How is this happening? And that's the effect I want people to have, is with bodybuilding, it should still be beautiful, but at the same time, feel unachievable based on the size. Like, just the size still matters in bodybuilding, along with the beauty of it. It was the most anticipated debut of the year, right? And it delivered. So it's like, it's not like, okay, it was just like a little bit of social media hype. The hype train's dead now. Like, he's come out, he looked like, he didn't look like anything we thought he was gonna look like. It's done, like, let's move on. No, it's like, oh, he's the real deal. How far can this guy go? You know, that's the question now, is how far can Kennedy go versus, is he really the way he looks? Because it's very difficult as bodybuilders too. There's also that other aspect of it that is even worse, where people know you have the potential, but you're not delivering on the potential. And you never want to be in any of those situations. I think it's very difficult, because there's nothing worse than trying to prove your work ethic, because you just don't know what is going on in people's lives. You know, you don't know your medical history, you don't know your relationship, their financial situation. But to the online masses, it's like, this guy is eating cake when he should be eating tilapia. That's all they think about, right? And it's not that simple sometimes. We were at the Airbnb, and a lot of media is coming out about the New York Pro, and I see a notification from Animal, a video that was tagged. So I click on the video, and the first thing I see is Evan, and he's giving me a message, wishing me good luck, and then John as well. I've said before how these two people are people I highly respect. I'm actually getting goosebumps again. I watched that video and I almost teared up, I'll be honest, guys. I almost teared up. My girlfriend had to hold my hand there at the Airbnb, because you go through those moments, is it worth it? And then you forget sometimes when you're going through that process that there are people who believe in you on the other side too, that not necessarily they'll be disappointed if you don't make it. They want to see you do well because they know your potential. They know how far you can go. Just having them just send that right before the timing of it. It was the timing of it. At that point, we're peaking for the show. And just that timing where they sent that, it was kind of like, damn, these are my idols in a sense. When I first signed with Animal, there was a question you guys asked me, and it was like, just use one word to describe Animal. And the word I used was tenacity. You have to be able to just keep going. You have to be able to just keep going. I'm the kind of guy that if I have to do what I have to do to make it happen, I'm doing it, okay? Animal is built, not born. So you can have all the potential in the world, but if you're not doing what you need to do, you're never gonna get there. For me, it's tenacity, it's grit. Bodybuilding is a grind. You can be good for one day. You can do your diet perfectly today, perfect training. But now, can you do that for 20 weeks? Can you do that for 40 weeks? The guy who can nail 80% for 20 weeks is better than the guy who can nail it for 7 days and he's doing 10% of whatever he's doing. And then the next 7 days, he does another 100%. The guy doing 75% or 80%, nailing it at those numbers is always going to be better. So the tenacity, the grit, to just be able to just keep going against all odds, physical odds, psychological, mental odds, that's, in my opinion, what represents Animal and also symbolizes the best of the best bodybuilders. About 13 bodybuilders in the lineup, and I came sixth. And the 5 guys that beat me are Olympia level caliber bodybuilders, which tells me that I belong in that bracket. New York was kind of the breakout to kind of show people, you know, New York is a very stacked show. It's one of the hardest shows. If you can be a top tier caliber athlete there, that means that you have the potential to win a show in the other parts of the year, you know, in the season. So Nevada is where I intend to win. You see, that's what I was talking about with the different winning scenarios, right? Nevada is an intention to win and go to the Olympia. So this next stop, Legion Sports Fest. The Colossus is coming.